Hi everyone, welcome to the Dang channel. And today is my pleasure, honor, and humble to introduce the most icon, powerhouse woman in this planet. Her name is Korie Minkus. So please, Korie, I know about you a little bit, and we have been spent time together in my beautiful country, Thailand, and that was my privilege to meet you in person. You know, you are such a great influence woman. On top of that, you have such a lovely heart and kind person, you know, and so humble, so cute, so adore, you know, it's unbelievable. However, those that don't know you, right, I would love you to introduce yourself, who you are, what your passion, and what is your vision to this world. Please go ahead.
Wow, that's a big introduction. First of all, Dang, I want to just thank you. I want to thank you for having me here and all the excitement that you have built around the work that you've done with the GEW, the Global Empowered Women. Yeah. And how beautiful that you've created this amazing platform for women globally to come together and unite in such a beautiful experience of being able to honor the female entrepreneur. And so I want to thank you for that. And you know, even before COVID, the pre-COVID times, right? There was a movement of women leaving their corporate jobs and starting their entrepreneurial journey. And today, over the past 2 years, we've seen the fastest growth in history. I mean, it's unprecedented what we've seen, right? I think they called it the Great Recession. The Great Resignation. Women leaving their jobs and moving into entrepreneurial minded projects. Right? So leaving the corporations and moving on. Yeah, it's been amazing.
That's so good.
And what was interesting was, you know, I just finished writing a book, and we can talk a little bit more about that. But 1972, which was 50 years ago. Whoa. It's 50 years ago. And this year I turned 50. So I know it was 50
congratulations.
It was the year I was born. It was the year I was born, yes. Is actually officially when they have documented that US women first started to run their own businesses. So it actually is documented that 1972 was when this started. So 50 years ago, right?
Well, and
this last 50 years has really been a remarkable time and transition for 2 million women leaving the workforce, right? Over the last couple of years during COVID. There are now 400 million female founders, CEOs, and business innovators globally around the world. And women make up 40%. Actually, it's 42% here in the US. They make up 40% of all business entrepreneurs. So really, I mean, like, yay to this world, right?
Yes.
And women in America, here's another stat for you. Women in America start almost 2,000 businesses a day in the United States.
2,000?
2,000 businesses every single day in the United States. So this is...
Oh, we lost you. You lost your voice. Now you come back. Now you're back.
I'm okay?
Yes, okay.
I don't know what that was.
I lost 30 seconds before.
Okay, so what I was saying was, it's such a celebrate, because it is really not only my 50th this year, but the 50th celebration of women entrepreneurship. And so your work that you've done with Global empowerment women.
Oh,
Sorry, excuse me, global empowered women. I want to get that right. Global empowered women
correct.
is so timely, Jane. So I want to honor you and thank you for doing that. It really is an honor to be here today.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Korie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And for those 2,000 business owners are women, and you're helping them so
A day.
a day. Oh my
A
God,
day.
a day.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. It's incredible. Now, I work with men and women, but I know we're here to really honor women and women in business. And of course, being a woman in business, who's been a woman in business for over 30 years, I certainly understand the power of the female in the business experience. But yes, it is incredible what's going on, and what an incredible time to be a woman in business and part of this incredible opportunity for growth, right? Because there's endless possibilities for each of us to be able to untap the opportunities and unearth the potential for ourselves, if that's what we want, right?
Yes. And thanks to you, actually, that because of you have been helping and supporting many men and women entrepreneurs to really bring their business into the next level, helping them to reach 7, 8, 9 figure. So how do you do that? Please share with us, because I think this is the most important that our audience want to know about. Oh, I want to be one in the 2,000 a day.
Yes. So
and also to try my business,
Yeah. So good question, Jane. So Jane and I met a couple of years ago, as Jane mentioned, on a spiritual retreat, which was something that was quite a departure for me, right? That was something I had never done before, experienced before. I grew up very academic. I went to university, I graduated, I moved right into corporate. And as a woman, I worked in corporate for 25 years. I was in corporate. And so I was always very regimented and disciplined with focusing around business growth, business acumen, positioning as a female in a business work environment. I was most often the only woman at the boardroom table.
Wow.
So as a woman at the table, you have to understand what your place is and how to develop your acumen in that experience so that you can align and create business opportunities. And, because I grew up in an age where, women sitting at the boardroom table was a bit new and fresh, there wasn't a lot of people before me that I could learn from. There were some women, but not many. And so I had to figure out that pathway. So 5 years ago, I was going to leave corporate and actually go get my MBA, which is kind of the next business degree. I had already graduated with business degrees young, but I wanted to get that next level. And what I was really looking for was a new level of intellectual stimulation. After being in business for 25 years, growing my career from product and marketing all the way up to when I left, I was the COO and I was executive vice president for a $500 million division of a company. Ooh. So I went through the whole gamut, right? And then I said, what, I want to go back and I want more academics. I want more in my mind. And at that moment, I actually had a realization and a shift that it wasn't more intellect I needed around business acumen, but that I needed more intellect around my personal self. Wow. And that I had kind of ignored. I always grew. I don't want to say ignored. I think that's a fair statement. But my focus was always on business more than it was on self-development. So although it was always part of my journey, because it has to be, right? You can't do one without the other. You can't rise in your career and not have self-development as a foundation of that. Yeah. But I wanted to take it to the next level. So instead of getting an MBA, which is a master's in business, I went and I spent a couple of years getting educated around the mind and how powerful the mind is. And one of those things that I did, I joined Jane and my spiritual advisor, Mahima, and I followed her around the planet. It was like the Amazing Race. She gave me an address and told me where to show up, right? And what to bring and what color outfits to come in. And that's all I knew. And I paid her the money and I just went. Whoa. But it was an amazing 2 weeks, right, Jane? And that was when Jane and I
Yes, it's amazing, yeah.
Amazing. And that experience in itself completely forever shifted that, along with some of the other training and certification work that I did at that time around neuro-linguistic training. And I took the landmark course. And so I did different kinds of personal development work. And then the transition from being a corporate leader to being an entrepreneur, and that transition and learning how to trust myself on a whole different level. Wow. Right? A whole different level.
Ooh.
So there was a big transition there.
Yeah.
A big transition there. Trusting yourself and having your intuition, particularly I'm sorry?
Guiding you with intuition guiding.
Your intuition guiding you. That's right. Because really, as we know, the divine feminine energy and spirit is really about intuition and about healing and about acceptance and connecting and restoring.
It's important.
The divine feminine is about restoring your inner self. Yeah. And so in a very masculine dominated work environment, reclaiming that divine feminine was part of that transition.
Yeah.
Totally. And although we need to have both, right? We need to have the feminine and the masculine qualities and energies, and they do exist. I was definitely brought up in a much more masculine energy environment.
I saw that. I saw you on the very first time. But now that you like more feminine and still not 10x grow in your business, in your daily life, that also you see that you're more radiant, that you're more, you shine your light like, wow.
Thank you. Yeah, it is amazing as female entrepreneurs, but female business owners and or female corporate leaders.
Yeah.
We do get sucked very much into the masculine, right? And the competitiveness and the spirit in which the masculine energy dominates our decision making, and it dominates the way that we think through things, right? And both are super important qualities. There's no doubt about it that having those masculine qualities, to be competitive, to be decision makers, to be really being decisive in making decisions is a very important part of business. But we as women have in some cases, or had, for me in particular, lost that really essential piece, which is the divine feminine energy. And
I love this one.
What I've really spent the last 5 years doing is unearthing that, right? And going back to that.
This one, yeah.
When I was young, Jane, I was a figure skater for 22 years. I was a competitive figure skater, an elegant sport, where you wore cute outfits and you got on the ice and, you were graceful. So I grew up in a sport that really was masculine and feminine at the same time, right? You had to be aggressive and jump and fall on cold ice. And you had to have the femininity and the beauty on the ice. And so I grew up in a very balanced sport, interestingly. Yeah. But then you go from sport into corporate America and it became very restrictive. And so it sucked that femininity out of me. So when I left corporate 5 years ago, the first thing I did was I burned all my black pants suits. I burned them all because that's right. Freedom reigns, right? Just get rid of them all.
Oh my God, that's so powerful.
It was so powerful. I mean, it was so sad to walk into my closet and see how dark it had gotten, right? And how much I had lost my femininity, even in the clothes that I chose to wear, so that I can comply with the masculinity of the environment I was in. So it really, being a female today in business is really about reclaiming your power in whatever that looks like for you, and that alignment and authenticity in your business. And so when I work with my clients, I help them to, not only because I'm very serious about business, I not only help them to understand the business acumen and the business skills that they need in order to find success in their business. but we have to balance that with the divine feminine and the human being. And even men have to learn, even my male clients, we work with them on their understanding of people. We work with them on their nurturing relationships. We work with them on even understanding their creativity, right? We help them understand their creativity, because men can be less creative than women can be in certain ways. So it's expanding that mindset in all areas. So anyways, I hope that kind of answers your question about, you know, my personal journey and where I've gone to and what I do.
Yes, so. What I love about that you share that, you know, at the beginning, you only focus to try your business and it's used so much masculine energy into the business. However, we lost sight of our authentic for who we are. And we abandon our femininity and divine energy, and which is not, you know, helping us to, maybe you try in business and then you had no balance anymore because you forget for who you are.
100%.
You are a woman. It's normal. Then you bring your feminine energy into your business. So thank you. And I love that you're talking about men that have also feminine energy, which is true.
It is true, right? It is true. And, you know, and one of the things that makes business owners so unique, or every business so unique, I mean, really the only thing that makes business so unique, because a lot of people do the same thing, right? There's very few real innovation in the world. There's very little real innovation in the world.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, think about when you go to the grocery store and you shop for a bar of, or a package of ice cream. There's tons of ice cream choices, right?
Yeah.
Or bread, there's all kinds of bread choices, and soda, there's all kinds of soda choices, right? There's a lot of choices in the world because there's a lot of competition out there doing what you're doing. It doesn't matter what you do. There's always competition, even if it's not direct competition. There's always somebody else pulling on that consumer dollar, whether it's a service or if it's a product business, whether it's a technology, it doesn't matter. Consumers have choices. And the most profound thing that an individual can understand is that what drives your business as an entrepreneur, there's really one thing.
What is that?
There's only one thing. You want to know the answer?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh my gosh. The most important part of your business is truly you.
Oh my gosh. I love that.
It's truly you.
Yeah.
And that's why trusting in yourself when you become a business owner is so important. It was interesting. We were watching the documentary, or I think it's a series on Uber.
Yeah.
And then we watched the documentary on Facebook, right? Mark Zuckerberg. And then I can't remember the gentleman's name who started Uber. In both instances, Uber and Facebook, the idea of both those businesses came from somebody other than who actually runs those companies today.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
So, you know, the concept, and we talk about this, you know, we used to talk about this on stage, that, you know, ideas are really worthless, that action is everything.
Oh.
Right? Because if you just have an idea and you don't facilitate it and you don't push it forward and you don't actually actuate it, but in that actuation, it's not just doing things, but it's actually you who's leading it. I never say that it's business to business. You're never doing business with business. You're actually doing people to people.
Yeah.
Businesses are nothing without people. They're nothing.
Yeah.
So this whole notion of business to business, B2B, it's a silly notion in my mind, because it's really P2P, right? People to people.
Whoa,
and so as a business owner, Jane, you know, it's so important and critical that business owners understand how to unearth their own potential, because their potential is, as they raise that level of potential, it will raise the level of potential within their business. It always happens. It always happens. And that's why I love what I do today, because I get to see business owners really come into their own and develop their own, they get to break through their own ceiling that they thought was not possible. And they get to really raise that ceiling to a new level, right? They get to say, you know what, I can do even more than I thought was possible.
Oh,
And that's just a vision that a beautiful vision in life, whether you're an entrepreneur or a business owner, or you're just a human being. The idea that you can actually create a world of abundance for yourself and move through those limitations that you thought your business or yourself had, they're the same. Your personal limitations are what is also holding you back in your business. So we fill you with the business acumen and the knowledge and the experience so that you can then personally make decisions to elevate your game. It's just a beautiful synergy between all the things that we get to do. So anyways, that's what I do every day. I get to talk to business owners around the world and help them just expand that mindset.
Oh, I so honor you and respect, and truly admire you that you bring all this gift and your own experience to help others to really change their game. And I really relate to about the ideas is nothing unless I take into action, like what we have now, the empowered, global empowered woman, to bring into the summit and also the magazine. It had been already in my mind for years, but thanks to COVID, I bring it into action.
Love it.
Yeah, and you know what? It's like ups and downs, and it's nothing is perfect. But I love doing that, and I just put myself into that, and love to work every day. It's like this is just my playground, I don't feel like work at all. It's like have fun,
right?
And it's grow every day. We attract more potential clients, happy clients who thrill to, I want to work with you, and I want to collaborate with you, I want to partner with you. And that's wow. It's exactly what you said, like, about Facebook, about Uber, and it is game changing when you take an action toward your ideas. Oh, thank you, Korie.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So I want to ask you about global empowered women that you do. Of course, not only women that you help, but it's also men. How you empower them? Are you only focused on people who run the business with products or service, or both, or you do both?
Sure. So by default of being in business for 30 years and having so many connections and relationships, so 25 years I spent in consumer products. So helping businesses or people rather, I should say, launch their product concepts to consumers. And that was really the foundation of my corporate career. But, when you run when you run a product business, it's no different than running a service business in many ways. No? There's a lot of crossover to the way that those businesses operate. Okay, so from an operational standpoint, there's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of overlapping similarities. And many service businesses today, but in general, offer products, right? Some of them offer digital products. Some of them offer services they package as products. And some of them even offer physical products. So my practice does not set boundaries. I have service businesses that I work with, and I have product businesses that I work with. But on a global scale, what I'm known for is launching hundreds of new products to the market to over a couple $2 billion in retail sales. So that's what I'm known for in the industry. So anytime somebody calls me up or has heard about me, it's more likely they've heard about me from the industry that I was kind of raised in, which is consumer products. So I don't, I work with business owners that I feel are people who are authentically aligned with wanting to grow. That is my primary decision maker. If I feel that the entrepreneur that wants to work with me is willing to give me as much as I'm willing to give them, I will take them on as a client. If I don't feel that synergy, I won't take them on. At this point, I get to make that choice. And my choice is that I give you everything. I expect for you to give me everything back. So
Whoa.
the most important thing is that for me. That's how I make the decision on who I work with.
This is truly aha moment, huh? That wow, you choose your clients. You choose your client. This is amazing.
Yes, it's fun.
You have to choose your client. Okay.
That's right. That's right. It's such a concept, right? You don't have to take.
Yeah. Wow.
So let me tell you about the product world, because world is super dynamic today. And it really is, in some ways, you know, a lot of people launch, you know, either an e-platform, a digital platform, or I want to package my services so I can sell them like a product, or I want to even create a physical product. And the world of
we lost you. Hello? Okay. We lost you. Can say it again, please? Oh, hold on 1 second. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, now I hear you. I hear you.
Okay,
so
yes.
We lost you last minute. We don't hear you.
Sure. Yeah. So I was talking about the product world. The world of physical products today has become extremely dynamic. And in some ways, the product world is very different from other industries in that there are very succinct processes that allow a company to thrive in the product world. And the number of entrepreneurs entering the product world today just continues to grow as well. And there's an estimated 30,000 new products rolling out each year. 30,000 new products rolling out each year. Yeah, really a lot. And products can fix problems, right? They offer solutions that change lives. And with 4 billion people having access to the internet today, there are many opportunities to connect with consumers and understand their needs and their desires and their motivations. And the difference between product and service is that even in my service business, because I only take on private clients, there's only so many that I can take on, right? So there's only so many I can take on, and there's only so many that can afford my service. So for products, when you launch a physical product or some kind of digital product, you can certainly reach more people and be able to touch more lives. Now, in the physical product space, for people who can offer a solution, they can create a lot of impact for a consumer through a physical product, something that somebody can have in their home, right? Like I have my water bottle, or I have my cell phone, right? I mean, think about all the things that we have in our lives. Or I have my lip gloss, right? You know, you can't be without that, you know, your headphones. So right, exactly, right? We have all our priorities right around us. So the essence of the physical product industry is really, it's really an amazing industry. And today, more than ever, I mean, it just keeps getting better. There's a lower barrier to entry into the world of physical products. So it's easier than ever before to enter the market with a physical product. You know, as we know, we can use technology and talk directly to consumers today. And so Rock Your Product, which is my company, which I started 5 years ago, provides business owners access to the most effective brand building methodologies and systems, whether it's online or offline. And in my career, I have had access to literally the most brilliant minds and experts. And during the 25 years in corporate, I was able to really decode the successful steps that business owners took to be able to create success in their business. And so in the last 5 years, I distill that down now, you know, both in my presenting and times I go out and speak, and then also working with my entrepreneurs one-on-one to help them to be able to be smarter about their business. So
Oh,
that is my focus of Rock Your Product. And whether a company is pre-revenue, just starting their business, or whether they're in, 7 or 8 figure revenue a year, my clients appreciate the truly hands-on experience and advocacy and consultancy that I offer them during their business journey. I have clients who, I have 1-year contracts I set up with my clients, and every single one of my clients, every single one, I have 100% success rate of them signing up to work with me for a second year. So it's incredible. It's incredible.
Oh my God.
And all that means is that it's just, we're having too much fun. We don't want to stop, right? So we just keep going.
That is the top of the, of the cake, right? The cherry of the
I love it.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to work with you as well, because and for you guys out there looking for someone who can help you with your product and service. So reach out to Korie, because I also want to work with her one-on-one. Here is my question, Korie. So I have the service and provide and offer our Give magazine to our audience. Yeah. How can we easily package it together and offer them, like that could be very beneficial for our audience and our clients, and also for the company itself? What is your best advice?
Can you ask the question again, Jang, so I'm clear on what you're asking me? So you want to know how to package your magazine and your summit and your external services?
Yes.
With being able to engage clients, correct?
Yes.
And do you offer it currently as a full package?
Yes, we have a packages like being on feature on our Q magazine, and also coach them, help them to get more confidence, and publish them, share their articles in the magazine, and also help them to be able to promote them for the next 12 months in our directory.
Right. So you're truly marketing yourself as a personal brand strategist. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So your company is about helping people understand the power that they have on their personal brand influencing their company's impact.
Absolutely.
Yes. And so is your question, how do you get more customers? Is your question, how do you offer them more value? What is it that you're trying to achieve and answer to?
So I want to get more value. I want to give more value to them so that they can really move their business to the next level. Right.
And what makes you think, Jang, that you're not giving them enough value right now?
We give enough value. I myself and my team believe that we are we over deliver. However, I want to see the result faster for them, right? So that they have like, oh my gosh, I work with you within 30 days, my business is thrive, you know what I mean? I don't want to wait 3 months or 4 months. I want to really help them in 30 days.
Okay. So I will give you 2 things to think about.
Yeah.
Number 1 is defining success with your program or with your service is extremely important.
Yeah.
So what should someone who joins your organization or invests in your business expect to get as an outcome? So think about that in terms of how do you deliver what that outcome is? Okay, number 1. Number 2 is that nothing in business happens quickly.
Yeah. That is good.
So there may be a misaligned understanding of what you can accomplish in a short amount of time. 30 days is a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, because I work with business owners who have been in business for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and who are still challenged, struggling, figuring out how to raise more capital, figuring out how to, achieve operational excellence, trying to figure out how to create more revenue for their company. This is an ongoing thing. Business doesn't stop and start that quickly.
Wow, I love that. I love this answer.
So I think that chunking it down as into what you actually are going to have as a deliverable is extremely important to communicate, and then have a very defined expectation with what is possible in 30 days versus what is possible that you can set as a foundation over a 30-day period to actually set that foundation for the future of their business.
Yeah.
So I just think we have to be careful about how we define the outcome of that circumstance.
Yeah.
So I hope that helps answer your question a little bit.
Yes, definitely. So I really get more confidence by listening to your advice, because when we work with people, they expect to get fast result.
That's right.
So
people want immediate satisfaction
now.
They want that now, right?
Yeah.
Even ordering something online, you have to wait till it delivers, right?
Yeah.
Versus, I mean, look at what happens now. Like, the Amazon's like, oh my God, we can deliver in like 3 hours, right? But if you actually could just like drive down to the store, which is like 3 minutes from me, right?
Yeah.
I could go pick up something that I need right away, and it's that immediate gratification, right? Us ladies love to shop, right? And we love to have that immediate, when you order something online, I mean, it's kind of like Christmas. You get the box and you get to open it, but you gotta wait. Like, no one wants to wait for anything, right? We've developed into a society where like we want this quick fix.
Yeah.
And I think what you're actually unearthing here, Jane, is that people in business have to slow down.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the opposite of what our society tells everybody to do. Go faster, get faster, do more text messages, send out more emails, do more. But actually, business is the opposite.
Yeah, come down.
You actually have to slow the pace down. Because if you don't do that, and I don't mean, look, I run like a crazy person all day long. I'm not saying like actually move slower, but I'm saying that the thinking has to be more long-term.
I love that. Ooh, I love that. Yeah.
Short, because it's just not realistic. And so I think that's the other thing too, for me, when I define my clients that I know I'm going to have success with.
Yes.
It's those that understand that there's an investment that you need to make along the journey to get to a growth of results.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't happen overnight. I mean, I have a client right now, we're working on financial capital partners for her. So, finding equity partners, people who can come in with money and capital to help her to grow her business, both strategically and financially. And she's been doing her business for 25 years.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's not that her business hasn't grown, it's great, but there's just more evolution that has to come. And so it's this constant process. And so I think for you, Jane, defining that with your clients is very important, and getting a little more hyper-focused and granular about what that looks like may help them to see that vision clearer. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love about when you say we need to slow down a little bit, and not only that, we need to trust the process.
100%.
Yeah, because every step, every movement is a process of growing. You can't just click like this. Yeah, even you go to the grocery, you have to wait on the line, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And you need to trust, and also the most important thing, as you mentioned at the beginning, is take an action, because most of people that join some program, for example, I hire you as my private business mentor, and I just expect you to do everything for me, and I sitting here waiting. No, it doesn't work that way.
No,
I need to take action too, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, the clients that I have the most success with, and fortunately, knock on wood, I have the most amazing clients. I'm so grateful for my clients right now. Like I am inspired by them because they inspire themselves. But the clients that really are successful are the ones that actuate on the things that I asked them to do. I had a client recently, two young women. They own a company called Detox Babe, and they sell bath salts. And we've recently gotten into some retail, and we're growing and expanding the business. And when I ask them to do something, they take the most immediate action. So I asked them to go out to LinkedIn, and I coached them through how to update their LinkedIn so that their LinkedIn was positioned properly. And I suggested to them to go out there and use LinkedIn to create a network for themselves, to start to unearth opportunities. So they joined a Sales Navigator, which is the next level of LinkedIn, so that you have access to more people within LinkedIn. And over a 10-day period, they sent out hundreds upon hundreds of messages to potential partners for them. And when we had our last coaching call, we spoke through, I don't know, it almost was like 24 opportunities that had come up during that opportunity where they went out and did that over a 10-day period. The amount of opportunity and people that came back and were knocking on their door to say, yeah, we're interested. We want to know more. We want to learn more about your product. We want to understand how we can work together. I mean, it was an amazing demonstration of when you take action, you get results.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah.
So that's really important. And one of the reasons why people don't hire business advisors and don't hire business coaches.
Why is that? Why?
Is because people are afraid they don't trust themselves.
Oh, wow. Ooh, my gosh.
Yeah.
It is
because then they have to hold themselves accountable.
Yeah. So it's not about you.
No.
It's about themselves.
It's totally about themselves.
Oh my God, this is so cool. Wow.
Yeah, it's totally about themselves. So it is very obvious when you start working with people, the action takers.
Yeah.
And listen, you don't, I mean, we all question our own.
Oh my gosh, I love this. I love this. This is
so sweet. I love how you're like learning during this interview.
Yeah.
So we all question ourselves. I mean, I had an opportunity yesterday. Somebody presented to me, someone who connected with me and wants to work with me and do something for me, for my business. And, the first reaction I had was, oh my God, am I good enough? Am I smart enough? Can I do that? I mean, and I'm 50 years old and I'd like to think I'm a pretty successful businesswoman, right? And even I had that thought, right? So let's be proud of the fact that we're human beings and, and accept the fact that sometimes we have that immediate sense of uncertainty. Yeah. And we have that sense of, are we where we want to be? Can we do what we're being asked to do? And really what it comes back to when those feelings came up for me yesterday, it comes back to trusting yourself. Yeah. It comes back to having the confidence in yourself to be able to your point. I loved your comment, trust the process and know that these opportunities are being presented to you for a reason. I actually find it really sad when I meet a business owner, and it's, knock on wood, it's been rare. But when I meet a business owner that's been introduced to me and they don't take the opportunity to come work with me. And it's not because I think I'm the greatest coach in the world. Let's be honest. There's amazing coaches out there. Okay. But there's so much potential that I see that people get when they work with a good, and there are so many business coaches out there that don't have the kind of experience and acumen that you want on your team. I mean, when people go to sell their companies, when they go to exit, when they go to sell their companies for 5 million, 10 million, $100 million. Yeah. The most important thing that investors look at in people's companies, the most important thing they look at is the owner and the people the owner surrounds himself with. Ooh. Most important. Doesn't matter the profits of the company.
What the heck?
No, it doesn't matter. They want to know who's the business owner and who does the business owner surround themselves with.
And that's why you're talking about P2P.
P2P, that's right.
Wow.
That's right.
this is,
That's right.
oh my God, these interviews, I love it.
You've got such great energy. I love it. I mean, your energy is contagious, right? I mean, that alone is worth $1 million, right?
Oh,
Just sell your energy. You got to just put it in a bottle. Just sell your energy to people, because that's what life is about, right? We talk in our book about, high vibrations, and we talk about how important as a business owner it is to be able to project a high vibration. Well, you can't project a high vibration if you don't have it inside you.
No,
but that vibration attracts people around you. It attracts people to your mission and your vision.
And so that's why you are here. You accept my invitation to get interviews.
Because I love your vibration. I love it. It's awesome.
Thank you, my love.
Thank you.
Oh my God. It is so hard. So many breakthrough. My gosh. I'm going to rewatch this replay over and over again. So great. So good. So good. So good. Wow.
Thank you.
Woo. Oh, yeah. Oh my God. My next question, Korie. My next question is how to become a powerful global leader, such as you are, even close to you, how can become just like you? I mean, most entrepreneurs out there, they want to reach or even close to where you are right now. How you get here? Please share it with us.
Wow. Jing, I mean, I did just turn 50 this year. So it's been an interesting.
However, you look 30.
Oh, thank you. I'll take it every day. Thank you. So, it's been an interesting year of reflection for me. And I'm launching my first book, and my business is better than I ever could have asked for it to be. And I've got some other amazing things going on in my life. My relationship with my husband, who I've been with for 32 years, is amazing. I have 2 amazing children who are both doing incredible things in their life. Now I sound like my mom, who's like, your children are amazing. But, so you look at your life, and there are women I speak to at 50 who are not, they're not happy with where they are, and they're not ready to take on the next 50. And I am so grateful that I've done the work over the last 5 years to figure out alignment. And so I want to answer your question of how do you get to being a thought leader? How do you get to a place of, I guess, we talk about in our book, what does prosperity mean to people? Because prosperity means something different to you. What it means to be prosperous in your life is different for you than what it is for me.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't feel bad about what you want. I shouldn't feel bad about what I want for prosperity.
Yeah.
But we have to define what that is for us so we can achieve it in our life.
Whoa.
Okay. Because you can't achieve something if you don't really know what it is that you want. I mean, you could leave some gray area. I'm all about gray area these days. I like the fact that not everything has to be planned and not everything has to be perfect. In fact, I love the saying, and I don't know who said it to me, life is perfectly imperfect. And I'm okay with that. I'm more okay with that today than I've ever been.
Whoa.
But in order to be a thought leader and achieve your maximum potential in life, there's some real work that you need to do. And it doesn't have to be like today or overnight or, oh my God, in 30 days, I'm going to be all better. It's a lifelong journey. I mean, we are given the gift. We are given the gift of every day. We are given the gift of every day. And it's what we decide to do with that gift. Wow. And, Jang, you said to me, I think before we started the interview that, you look to these interviews, not just to share this information with the world, but you look to it to learn yourself, right? You get to elevate by these conversations.
Yes.
I feel the same. I feel the same that every hour that I speak to a client, I learn as much from them as they learn from me. And even if I'm learning from them patience or or humbleness or foundational skills that I need to be reminded, that just makes me a better human being. And listen, I work with some of the smartest entrepreneurs on the planet. I literally am honored, whether they're in their 20s, their 30s, or their 60s, or their 70s. It doesn't matter. You can learn anything from anyone. So what do I think that it takes to be a good thought leader is to be a consummate learner.
Oh, yeah. Oh, loving that. Oh,
yeah. You have to constantly, You can never be too sure of the fact that you know everything, because we so don't know everything. We don't even know a fraction of everything. In fact, it amazes me when we do our live podcast every week and we have a new guest on every week. And the amount of things I don't know that exist in the world. We talked about mushroom tinctures last week. And things that I just don't have, I haven't spent the time unearthing those things in my life. And I thought, well, gee, that's something interesting that I could do some research on. So I say, Jane, and my ethos, my mission in life is that the more that I give to the universe, the more that the universe will continue to give back to me. Oh. And so for me, that's what this journey is about. It's really about the more I put out, I know that there's opportunities that come back to me that I can then expand and extend and create more opportunities. So it's always about what you give more than what you get. Wow. In fact, I just had my 50th and, still I have 2 more celebrations or 3 more celebrations this year with friends because we just couldn't get them all in. Yeah. And I'm so humbled by the love that I've created around me. And I recognize the fact that I've created that love, because I give it. And so I get it back. And I'm very grateful for that. And let me tell you, nothing's easy. 32 years of marriage. If anyone tells you marriage is easy and life is easy, it is the hardest job. Being a mom, hardest job, right? Yeah. So it all puts in perspective being an entrepreneur. And anyone who invests in a long-term relationship knows that whether it's business partners, whether it's an amazing network of business people that I can tap into at any time, but those relationships take time to foster. And just like business takes time to grow, you have to just keep planting that seed in life. And look, the more you're open to opportunities, don't rush anything. You want to become a thought leader, then just keep working at it. And eventually you're going to get there and say, wow, wow, it's really happened.
Oh my gosh. I just love you, Korie. That's you.
Oh, thank you.
So much value to me, to every single person who can listen to this, and also people who surrounding by you. And I love that you say it's never stop learning. Never stop learning. And the more you learn, the more you get better each day and single time.
Yes.
And I think also that you mentioned that open yourself to learn more and be humble as you are.
Absolutely.
I think that's what the most make you so authentic and powerful leader.
Thank you. So listen, Jay, I do want to talk for a few minutes about my book because
I just want to ask you about the book. Please go ahead.
Yes. And the reason why I want to bring it up is because I think it ties into this conversation really beautifully. Yeah. So I was encouraged to write a book. I've never done it before. And to me, writing a book was, how some women do. In fact, I met somebody who just did even beyond a triathlon. I don't know what she did, or beyond a marathon. I don't know. She did like double marathon, I don't know. She ran like 50 miles or something. I mean, it sounds excruciating, right? Like I can't even imagine running 20 miles, let alone 40 or 50 miles. So for me, writing a book was going to be like a marathon. It was going to be one of those things that was not going to be easy. I knew it was going to be a task, but it was going to be a challenge that I wanted to take on in my life, right? Because what is life if you don't have challenges and you don't have things that you're working towards? Yeah. And I like to be challenged. I love to be challenged. Give me a hard challenge and I will figure it out, right? Is this my mind? So anyway, so I knew I wanted to write a book. I had hired a book coach, and 2 years ago when we were doing a lot of traveling at the time. Of course, I was in Dubai and Abu Dhabi and in Singapore, and I was in Hawaii and Tel Aviv, all at the beginning of 2020. And I was flying home in March, and I knew that I was going to start writing my book. My last event, I met a woman by the name of Lisa Vranken, and she came to see me speak at my events. Yeah. And Lisa came to see me speak, and we had some dinners together, and she was introduced to us through another client of mine, Sasha Ferguson, who is a doll and is extraordinarily intuitive. And she put the two of us together. Wow. And Lisa called me up a couple of weeks after I'd met her and said, hey, you mentioned that you're going to start writing this book. How would you like if we wrote it together and it would be a collaboration we could do together? And because I'm such a consummate learner, I felt like well, hell yeah. Why wouldn't I want to write a book with someone who's smart and brilliant and intelligent and successful and someone who I admired? She's 10 years older than I am. And I think Lisa is, she's now become, like a sister to me, but she's an extraordinary woman in her own right. And the journey that she's lived in her life has made her this extraordinary woman. So even though we had different backgrounds, I felt that it could be a beautiful collaboration. Anyways, we get writing this book together. And the idea was a business book for female entrepreneurs and specifically in the product world. Anyway, long story short, a couple weeks after we started writing the book, it was about 8 weeks after we started writing the book, my book coach, who I had hired, got sick and she needed to leave the project.
Oh.
So Lisa and I started scrambling and saying, well, we've never written a book before, particularly in a collaboration, which is even harder than writing a book on your own. So we went on this search to figure out what we were going to do to come up with a solution to continue to write this book. So anyway, we call up a friend of ours, someone that we had both met. Her name was Ashley Black. And we got on the phone with Ashley, and Ashley was a best-selling author already. And we both had met her through various sources. Ashley did some work with Lisa, and I met Ashley because somebody introduced her to me. It was Sasha introduced her to me to work with me as her business coach. That's how I met Ashley. And so anyways, long story short, at the end of a 3-hour phone call with Ashley, who's, runs, she's done over $150 million in sales in her business. So very successful business owner, female entrepreneur. She decided she wanted to write this book with Lisa and I. So we created this amazing collaboration, and the book is called B. It's B-E. It's B, from passion and purpose to product and prosperity. And it's by Ashley Black, Lisa Rankin, and myself. And this book was really a culmination of our combined knowledge and wisdom, stories and learnings. Are you still there, my friend? Oh, I think you're on mute. Can you hear me, Jane?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, great. So the B book is really a culmination of the three of our knowledge, our wisdom, our stories, our learnings, our trials and tribulations of everything we each have spent doing in our business lives, particularly in the world of physical products. Wow. And we have each built successful businesses. We each have journey as an entrepreneur. We have branding experience. We have, massive business experience. And so this book was really a collection of the synergy of the three of us coming together, and leaving a legacy of what it really means to be a female entrepreneur. Wow. Now the book has changed and morphed into many different things. And we have a book publisher. It's being published by Post Hill Press and Simon & Schuster. It's launching June 28th of this year. Wow. And we really, in this book, expand your mind, help you identify alignment with your purposeful approach on your journey. Because what we all see as women in business is that there's a need for business knowledge, but there is an even more bigger need as an entrepreneur to understand the spirit of business ownership. And that's really what this journey is about. It's self-development and mastery and achievement. And it's all wrapped into a business concept, a business book. So we are honored and proud to be doing this. It's, it's real women featuring real life stories of real women. And it's written by, the three women who have spent our entire lives mastering what it means. Ashley's turning 50. Actually, you know what? I just thought about that. She's actually turning 50 this month. I totally forgot about it. She asked me to come to Costa Rica next week, and now I realize why. I totally forgot. It's her birthday. She asked me if I wanted to do a photo shoot with her. So I think I'm going to go down there next week. But anyway, just the beautiful relationship that the three of us have created. And I am on Ashley's board. I am on Lisa's board at Fortune Media Group. They are on my board, and the business partnerships that we've created out of just writing this book together has been truly incredible. So I invite you all. The book is broken down in 4 sections. Passion, understanding how to unearth your deep spirit of authenticity and alignment and high vibrations in your life. So we talk about passion and what that's about. And we do it through movements and exercises. We talk about purpose, right? We all want to know, what is our purpose here? And you don't have to have a single purpose on life, but you can explore living an intentional and purposeful life in everything you select to do, whether you're running on the beach or whether you're out with a friend for a cocktail or you're sitting at a business table negotiating business deals. Find the purpose in that present state that you want to be in. And then we get into products and we talk very lightly about personal branding, which is what you do, Jang, right? And how you can up level innovation and you can be primed to create a successful business. And then the last piece of the book is prosperity. And we talk about, what does prosperity mean to you? Getting clear, getting visionary, getting positive about what does prosperity actually mean for you in your life, and creating that vibration. So, and we have, again, exercises that we do through identifying where you're spending your time and just doing an ego check, understanding where you're at in your life today and where you want to go. So anyways, it was a beautiful collaboration. It was a crazy journey. We are now doing PR for the book, and Vogue and Vanity Fair and all these things are kind of coming down the pike, but it's such a fun journey to do something in collaboration with powerful women that you can learn from. And I am forever grateful that Sasha Ferguson, the stars aligned, the gods brought us together, whatever it was.
Yes.
And we were open to it, Jang. We were open to it. We didn't close ourselves off from this crazy thing. We didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. Believe me, if we knew what we were getting ourselves into, we probably wouldn't have done it.
Just coming in.
But then that's what you were saying earlier, right? Like, people have to trust the process.
Yes.
And somebody put all of us in place together to have this part of our lives together. And Ashley's turning 50 with me this month, and Lisa's 61 or 62.
Yes.
And the brilliance, the dynamic of the three of us together is beyond. So anyways, we look forward to doing interviews together. And I mean, it's kind of, we do a live podcast every week together, and it's so fun. And I encourage you as business owners, find collaborations that will elevate your life. And I don't mean just your business life. Find collaborations that are going to make you stronger. And so, Jang, I want to sincerely thank you for giving me the opportunity and the platform to speak to you today, and for creating this, right? Because you created this. You created this platform. You reached out to me and said, hey, let's spend an hour together collaborating, sharing ideas. And that is really powerful. So thank you for that. And I hope it was a meaningful hour together.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much, Korie. And about the book, I already reserved, right? Because it's
buy 10 copies.
We do that.
10 copies. Buy 10 copies.
Yes.
Buy 10 copies.
Yes, absolutely. And we also going to share the link to get through your book, right? In this feature. And also I'm going to interview Lisa Franken, and also I'm going to get Ashley.
Good luck with that. But
I'm going to get everyone, because these people, ladies and gentlemen, these people are amazing. Not only thrive in their business, but as you hear about Korie, her transformational into prosperity and become the most powerful leader in the world today, is because she brings all the balance for who she is, who authentic she is, and also alive with her purpose and her vision and her business. And that's why she's extremely successful today. So thank you so much, Korie. Do you have any advice, the last word to our audience?
Please? Oh my gosh, Jang, you put me on the spot here. Last words of advice. I would say the advice I'd give is, if there was one thing I could inspire through this interview, is to do more, live more, and be more than you are today.
Oh, wow. Say it again. Play more.
live more, do more, and be more than you are today.
Wow.
Maybe I put it in a different order, but
Oh.
live more, be more, and do more. Just do more, get more out of life. Because no matter how much you think you're doing, you can do more to get more. And that fills you up, right? It just makes you stronger. It makes you better. It makes you more filled, more full, right? Life should be about being full and bringing so much into your life. So yes, do more, be more, live more. And that's what I would suggest for anybody, business owner or not, just make it happen. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Oh, celebrate you. I celebrate you, Korie.
Thank you. Thank you
so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jane.
Yeah, so I'm going to stop this recording. Please stay in live because I have something to tell you.
Great.